Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Share this video out to the world, and I thank you very much for your support. Last week on Dragon Ball Super, the Universe 7, Universe 6 tournament came to an end as Monaka eliminated Hit, who kind of eliminated himself. And Champa was not happy and is about to lay great vengeance and furious anger upon Hit. And then suddenly a mysterious person appears in the middle of the ring. And that takes us to Dragon Ball Super episode 41. Japanese name, Ide Yokami no Ryu. So, Shite Negayo Kanaete Chonmage, which translates to, come forth, dragon of the gods, grant my wish, pretty peas. That's right, peas, not please. And I really don't know why that's what it says, but that's the translation from Herm. So, who better to trust than Herms, right? So, this episode was mostly all just exposition, but it had some of the most amazing visuals and moments that they've had so far in the series. Those of you who complained about the Dragon Ball Super animation, and rightfully so, this episode had none of that shit. It was amazing, amazing, amazing. I just real quick want to say before I get into it, there's a video down below I'm going to put in the description that I did with my buddy Real to Real predicting the next arc of Super, what we're going to see in the next saga. But this episode gave us tons of clues. So, okay, let's get to it. The episode begins with the Omni-King Zeno and his servants there in the middle of the ring. Everybody's surprised. Everyone's surprised about this. Kaioshin, the Supreme Kai, has no idea who the Omni-King is, and of course, old Kai calls him an idiot for it. Beerus then explains what we kind of already knew from the leaks about last week, that Zeno is the king of all 12 universes. He is the supreme being. So now, folks, the god hierarchy in Dragon Ball expands even further because we have, obviously, the Kais, the Grand Kai, the Supreme Kai, the gods of destruction and Whis in them and Vados, and now we have the Omni-King, who is the ruler of all 12 universes, okay? That's confirmed here from Beerus himself. Beerus and Champa freak out, and they rush down there to meet him, and they bow to them. And then, of course, Whis and Vados follow. As expected, guys, Zeno-sama sounds like a little kid. Very typical of Toriyama to do this. It kind of reminds me of that scene from Dogma where Alanis Morissette is like God. Or, you know, that kind of unexpected thing that Kevin Smith did in Dogma. Very similar here. Very, very similar here. So pretty much what happens is Omni-King is criticizing Beerus and Champa because they've been goofing off and not being gods of destruction. Their duties are to destroy things, and then the Kais come in and they create them. That was established back in the Battle of Gods movie time when that was coming out. Beerus and Champa are the gods of destruction. The Kais are the gods of creation. But they've been neglecting their duties because of this damn tournament. So he chastises them for that. Goku, of course, being Goku, wants to meet this amazing Zeno who Beerus and Champa are afraid of. So he jumps down there. Zeno's freaking two guards disappear into the ground and pop up right in front of Goku. And Goku's even freaked out. Like, what the fuck? Zeno tells him to stand down. And Beerus freaks out because Goku's talking directly to the Omni-King, right to the king of everything. Omni-King says, all right, here's where it's going to get very interesting, guys, for the future. Get hyped for this one. He liked the tournament so much, he wants them to do another tournament with all 12 universes. Bombshell right there. So at some point in the future, I don't know if it's going to be the next arc or the one after, we will have a tournament, at least it's been teased now, and I don't think they're going to tease us with this and not deliver, with all 12 universes. So, big shocker. Goku wants to shake hands with the Omni-King, and Beerus and Champa can't believe it, and he does it anyways. It's a comical little scene. Beerus then tells us that if he wanted to, the Omni-King could wipe out all 12 universes in the blink of an eye. So right now, folks, those of us who thought that Whis and Vados were the two most powerful beings in the universe, nope. This son of a bitch can wipe out, according to what Beerus said, all 12 universes in the blink of an eye. So he's essentially the representative of Toriyama, I guess. I don't know if we're going to see any higher gods in this later on, but expect the unexpected with Dragon Ball Super. So Zeno leaves, and we're probably going to see him again in the future. Then we see a funny conversation. Again, guys, another preview of possibly things to come in the future. Kaba tells Vegeta, now you can come to Planet Salad, Master. And Vegeta goes, don't call me Master. And Kaba goes, yes, Master, which I thought was funny. So, again, folks, they are teasing us with not just a multi-universal tournament with all 12, but also the possibility that Vegeta may indeed visit Planet Salad or Planet Sadal, depending on what version you're watching. It was Salad in the manga, Sadal in the anime. I don't care how you say it, it's the same thing. So Hit leaves. Goku says goodbye to him. We're probably going to see him again. We find out that Champa is going to be sparing those guys, especially Hit, because they're probably going to be competing in this 12-universe tournament coming up. So we will see Hit again, which I'm very, very happy about. So those of you Hit fans out there, he ain't done. Majin Buu wakes up. And Mr. Satan's there, and Bulma pulls out the new Dragon Raider, the one we saw a few episodes ago, and she's like, wait a minute, there are already 7 Super Dragon Balls here. And then Monaka says, well, we got to get like a map or something, a 3D map, and I'm over here thinking about Force Awakens now at this point. Maybe Lord Santeca has the map, who knows. So it looks like, yeah, we're going to see a tournament later on. Whis then takes everybody out into space, and he basically shoots a beam down on the nameless planet the tournament took place on. And yes, folks, the nameless planet they were fighting on is the final Super Dragon Ball. Now, before all of you guys comment, aha, I was right. I hate to break it to you, but like almost like 1,000 people predicted this, all right? I had comments on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook. Dude, the 7th Super Dragon Ball is the one they're fighting on. And that's great that you guys figured it out. Remember, there's nothing wrong with figuring stuff out like that. It means that you understand Toriyama and that you are appreciated for figuring this stuff out. So yes, again, if you're going to sit there and say, I knew it, well, everybody knew it because I knew it too. But it's nice that they actually didn't, bait and switch us. You know what I mean? So Whis starts talking to the... So, okay, here's what happens. The 7 Dragon Balls are in space, the Super Dragon Balls. Bulma is worried that Beerus is going to, destroy the universe. And Beerus is like, no, don't worry about it. I can't wait to tell you guys this if you haven't seen the episode yet. And if you have seen it, of course, drop a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. So, we're going to get there. So, Whis talks to the dragons and Dragon Balls, and they start to light up. Now, if you guys remember, on Namek, when Dende summoned Porunga, he used the Namekian language. Well, with this super dragon, Whis used the super god language, the language of the gods, okay? So it's not one of those things where somebody can come in there and steal the wish, okay? You have to speak the language of the gods to summon this dragon. So that's just like the one on Namek. So there's some amazing Sumitomo music here. The balls begin to move. They light up. This whole sequence is about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's incredible. Whis is on top of the cube, and everybody else is inside the cube, and he takes them away. Champa and Vados already left. They're on their own cube, heading back to Universe 6. Do you see this epic light? You actually see the 2 universes next to each other, so they're pretty much in a vacuum of space in between the 2 universes. You have to see this to believe it, guys. Watch the episode for the visuals at the very least. The dragon comes out bigger than the entire universe. This is the most epic visual I have ever seen in the series, ever. It comes out, it looks like it's actually eating Saturn. And Saturn's like a little cookie to this dragon. The Super Shenlong, they refer to it as Super Shenlong or Super Shenron, which actually was one of the nicknames for Porunga way back in Dragon Ball Z. But anyways, this big yellow fucking gigantic dragon, dude, there's Milky Ways orbiting around him. There are galaxies that look like little fucking specks of sand around him, bro. It's incredible. So the cube goes inside the dragon into this weird vortex, and there's this big white aura. The visuals here are crazy. It was almost creepy, They go in this green and black void, and there's a smaller version of the dragon on the inside. Pretty much because the super dragon, the Super Shenlong, Zorama, which by the way, guys, quick little pun note. Zorama is a pun on salamander because it could be written as Zarama or Salama, like salamander. So when Funimation dubs Super, they might change his name to Salama. I'm just letting you guys know now that it could be Zarama or Salama. Take your pick, it doesn't matter. So the dragon, they're in the nucleus, in the center of this giant dragon, and there's a smaller version there asking to speak his wish. And of course, it has to be only the divine language of the gods, right? So Whis makes the wish in the god language. We have no idea what the wish was at this point. I'm going to tell you in a second. Dragon Balls dissipate, spread out among the universes. They're all in the cube. That's pretty much it. Vados and Champa, we cut to Vados and Champa. They're in the cube, and Vados' staff lights up. Champa's like, what's going on? She shows an image of the Earth. Champa sees the Earth, and it's confused, and then all of a sudden, the Super Dragon Balls whiz by. The wish. Beerus wished to revive Universe 6's Earth for his brother. Those of you who thought that Beerus was a bad guy, who was going to be a villain, you're not a good prognosticator. Beerus' wish was not for destruction. It was not for pudding. He selflessly wished for his brother, Champa, to have his own Earth with his own food. That just, talk about reaching into my heart and pulling it out, yo. Beerus is now the most likable character in this fucking series, dude. I just want to give him a big fucking hug, dude. Like, what an outcome to all this. That, you know what? You're my brother. We're going to have it out. But I'm going to fucking give you your own Earth so you can have the good food that I have. Just incredible. I just couldn't believe it. He lies to Bulma and says that he wished for a better bed to sleep on. Beerus is embarrassed to admit that he did something nice for his brother. I love it. Just legitimately amazing. Just, you want to love this guy. Just love Beerus. Beerus, and he's not even done there. We go back to Beerus' planet. He gives Monaka a truck filled with gold and silver, dude. A truck filled with gold and silver. And Monaka is so happy. He's like, thanks for being in the tournament. And then Beerus promises to let Goku spar with Monaka one day. Lots of gold, thanks him for the tournament, and then the episode ends with them heading back to Earth. So I feel that this episode is the conclusion of this arc. I was thinking it would be next week's episode, but this episode is the conclusion of this arc. I'm going to wait till next week and see what happens, but in the next episode preview, guys, Monaka's coming to Earth. Goku and Monaka are going to fight on Earth. It is in the next episode preview. Monaka is wearing Mr. Satan's belt and cape. Is he going to be the new world champion? I don't know. You know, the championship belt. Next week's going to get wacky. I think we're going to have a little more slice of life episodes. Probably going to cool down before they build up the next big storyline. I'm guessing, my prediction, Goku will be on Earth fighting Monaka. Vegeta's going to go with Kava the Planet Salad. That's where I think we're going to go for these next few episodes. My prediction, not sure. But Goku's definitely fighting Monaka next week. Let me know your thoughts down below. What did you think of this episode? I thought the visuals were incredible. I love the world building is incredible. The teases for what's to come is incredible. And the character arc of Beerus selflessly giving his brother his own Earth. Amazing. Thank you for watching the video. Let me know down below what you think. I hope y'all have a great weekend. I'll catch you down the road.